This is the lower round one right now, and it means if you lose, you are going out of the tournament. So this means everything for both of these teams here to get the W. Zobi, we're heading on to Icebox, and we got some compositions.
Yeah, some stark change-ups, right? Ghost Gaming going from the double duelist, from a duelist composition to then the double sentinel, and then TV as well. Bring Battison out of info initiator purgatory with the fade and the Sova to their most played role on the Jet. I mean, I'm looking back to that Haven Eco 4K, and I'm like, this works and will help NUI on that solo duelist, which was a problem the devs brought up over towards Haven. But we're into the action. We're into the pistol. Map 3, where a team will go home. We see that stark scale off a toxic screen, very characteristic of a B-side exec, and this is where you don't need a duelist, right? Take the space off of the barrier mesh and you're good to go.
Yep. Just keep using the wall to encroach a little bit further, or totally stop what you're doing and go back into the flank that's coming around on you right now from the opposing team. There's going to be a 3v3 right here at Garage.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. They are lined up and ready with the family photo just on the other side here. They've taken over attacker spawn. And now they're forced in. The wall has just enough gas to come back up. And now they're going to go ahead and reset. Double yellow, 3 down long B there as they go for post plant.
Yeah, lineup practice there as well for the spike to now going to come in late. But this delayed re-exec and delayed plant means that wall is no longer active. Means now only the sensor yellow is there for protection. So TV, I like the rebound here now. It's still a 5-on-5. Time now edging shorter and shorter, but the Poison Cloud really helping isolate these fights, but the trap play off the sensor is gorgeous, and blink and you'll miss it. Talk about a family photo. It's a photo finish for Ghost to get the pistol round under their belt.
That was crazy coming out of the side of Ghost. It was just like reminiscent of those, just hearing yourself get an ace or hear the buildup of the kills come through. It was all so fast, and they just teamworked that one into a first round win. Nicely set up, and the hold and cut on time was very nice too. Identifying that they were getting pushed all over, not overheating, and just going for the plant on the wall, setting up perfectly for that. Really nice post plant hold.
And it's really clean as well, because you know without a duelist you have to take numbered fights on these sites to entry, so you can't really run the risk of a solo sentinel lurking away from the site. Maybe late round we'll see them rewrap, but for now the time being is repeat B exec. It worked. The gamble stack was towards A, so they get off pretty much scot-free, and it's an interesting buy, very all over the place, right? Got some marshals, you got the double phantoms, so they're still leaning into this heavy aggressive buy that came out of them losing the second round thrifty over on Haven, and I think it's going to set them up quite well. Again, their C's ready to fight the flank. They're relying on this deadlock utility very far forward. They have really nice site control and flank control, but Battison?
Battison on 1, Gravnet thrown out for now, as 30 HP is not going to do great against the turret right away. And just holding for the exits, hoping to avoid an ult or with the opposing team, but maybe.
That's Phantom down.
Irene grabs a few. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh.
There's no time.
Yeah.
But
maybe a kill?
They have lost a lot this round. And there it is, Ariel trying to just hold on to the Bulldog, but all you'll get is the ult orbs passing as the spike kills you. And you can see Vanita saying, nah, that wasn't it. You lost the Bulldog, you lost the second Phantom.
Yeah.
I mean, now, look, they're just going for the full force up. They realize, like, we don't have any chance of winning this third round. Let's just play it like the fourth. And this could go really well or really poorly, and only time will tell, but maybe we got this some of the inner workings of, okay, if we delay the flank presence, we can, you know, splinter the players a little bit on the side of Ghost, but I'm curious to see how the B side will develop, and part of that comes out of maybe aggression from Battison towards a
little B early play. So they want to, so this is either again a B if they open it up, or just conditioning, right? Okay, yeah, we'll go B again. We'll show you B. We'll show you the util. It may not end here though with how you see the rest of Ghost position.
Oh, and 0 point suppression is worn off, one way or back in effect. So essentially, Bunny Bee is deposited, but on a very fragile island for the time being. We'll see what she's able to do here against 3 TV members. The Spike is actually headed back towards A. The Reyna anchor still Killjoy utility over towards mid. They're just keeping the players here on the side of TV, and it's really, really nice for the time being.
Yeah, having the one-person cross sold it.
Yeah. Madison's not sure about that. The turret, I think, helps.
Still looking. Be like, wait a minute. It got way too quiet. Still have to respect B, like you said. But they are ready for something else now. They've reset their brains and almost want to take space. Baddison, 30 seconds in the round to take space and see if they have a full wraparound. But there's still a lurk from Kataris.
Oh, and they probably heard the footsteps cross. Talked about Kataris, the timing.
Oh, the timing.
Just misaligns.
Wait.
What?
It's happening. They're activating on every end, and nobody knows what's... Oh, wait a minute. How did TV just come up with those frags? Left. Every angle was open to their eyes as Ghost came around the corner, and now it's the forest plant, which is going to be scrambled by Kaide, as it is just the rest of TV hiding, so the round cannot be collapsed a little bit more. Irene's still going to get the finalizing kill, or the final kill, rather, with the Guardian, and they get the bonus that Ghost, like you said, bought right into.
Wow. And we talked about how quick that went south for Ghost after Kataris opens up mid-control. And it was because I want to say it was NUI coming from screens and Kaide coming from spawn over Boiler that they backstab. And after they find the initial kill to Kataris, they're like, oh, we got all this mid-control, we're good to go. And they were visible from danger from the default plant location. And that just got obliterated by the TV members. And then you were also worried about Snowman because that was your Viper's wall dropping when Kataris falls. Everything went downhill. And now, like I mentioned, it's an eco as a result. Where Bunnybee has the Bucky. You're going to try and again scale off, take some close space off his toxic screen. And time after time, TV's letting them.
No way. No way. Oh, in the Hunter's Fury distraction, too. Just saying, you know what? I might go down, but I'm bringing as many as I can with me.
And that's why they were the play with the Bucky.
Yep, exactly. Run it down, but the good kind. Let's see what happens as they set up back for B here. Oh, the util out, the timing there, but maybe a few from Pattison to top off the round for TV here. Might be a possibility.
I mean, you got a player tied up behind the barrier mesh, Snowman, so you're just playing time. You're playing for the gun upgrades. Now Vanita's full HP. She'll be able to get the Vandal. And yeah, Irene was still waiting out this wall. And in the meantime, the reposition from Ariel here was perfect. Up towards Nest, up towards Kitchen. She just waits for the sensor, for the spike tap, and the thrifty round will be secured. From kills, from time, it does not matter. Ghost, turn it around.
Wow, they should have believed in themselves. They should have just went with the third round no buy, and now they'd be good. No, I'm just kidding. That was a really great round to come back, though. All in all, still very, very good. And now they can still say, hey, we haven't gone A. Do you think we're going to go B again? And that is such a head game now that they get to play with the side of TV, because who always goes B, right? Maybe they'll go A this time, and they'll probably go B because it's what they're doing to open up the site and then see if they can get a little bit of util. And TV tries it. They look to defend it, and Ghost is gone.
Yep, no command into the ace site. The difficulty here is you very deep killjoy utility here, so I'm quite worried that Ariel's about to get overrun by players unexpectedly. Trying to play the turret angle, maybe they'll just calm there's this many players, but in the meantime, Sheriff's ablaze, kill found by Irene. They actually go back south, they're like, okay, Pip's up, we should not re-engage here, they know. Vanita's so smart, get that weapon out of dodge, don't give it over.
Blocked by the wall again. I love deadlock. Just stopping the take, has to wait for the... Oh, actually, they can make it around the outside there. I wonder if it's known within the pit side that they know that. Oh, tagged. Now they know. The jig is up. They got to drop into sight. There's going to be a grab net, too. There's so much going on, Zobi.
And I mean, there were layers of protection, right? You still got the Hunter's Fury online, which you might have to utilize. Battison has found 2 off the Blade Storm. Time's ticking away, and that's exactly where your win con gets locked in. 3 ultimates deep. They will kind of avoid the eco with the Red Bull clutch, but the fact that it came that close out of TV's aggression down B long, out of the Blade Storm from Battison, it says volumes for what may be in store for this map.
Ghost is feeling the back-to-back map right now. We just saw the operator online as well here for the attack side, so they're going to look to pick off TTV's duelists before they can make a play. I'm sorry, TV's got to be off, I apologize. Yeah, so seeing Battison come out with it now.
It's huge.
And see if they can push up, because you're also going to have NUI's protection on that. Only 2 at A.
No, I like that, because I mentioned prior, no duelists, right? You thrive in numbers, so if you can find that first blood, that's huge. Number 2, they were previously running solo Reyna, so they couldn't have the opposite core part of their defense. So, All of this, though, it's actually Kaide on the receiving end. Got the timing on the drone and is going to come away gorgeously as a result. Finds one. You saw maybe Mizube contemplating going for the trade, but it's going to cut your loss. Assume they follow this up, but I don't think they are. Look at Ariel and how much space she has made over towards A. No contact made. The pings towards Scream coming out. Maybe where she's going to stop this exploration, but my eyes are now drawn to NUI. Yep, she has the cross.
Yeah, just shove the turret forward a little bit, and you're good to go on that left side. Cross is had, they know, and UI is going to just charge back up on the shield. Who's ready for this? It's going to be Ariel, who is ready from map to map in this series, continues to hit the shots, and now is opening the site for the team.
They get the side again, off the alert from Ariel. Now, this is where the operator becomes a little bit more difficult, is in the retake situations when you're down a player. When, again, this no duelist composition is so post-plant heavy. Look, Swarm Grenade, Shocks, Annihilation, I mean, Frag Grenade, it's all there. Like, how are you going to find your way into this? The Toxic Screen helps at least take some space here. Deposit Irene into Maze, but you're still so far away. And look at the relure from Bunny Bee through mid!
Now they know you can't shoot right there because of it. Annihilation still goes through with the death coming in. Can't save the teammate. Bunny Bee's coming around from screens. That lurk is just too good. And they even have the throw. The fragment grenade on the spike so it can't even be touched. Another round for Ghost here as they just start to pick apart TV in these rounds. And one of the first rounds we see full A exec and continue there too with a little bit of mid.
Yeah, I was hoping we would get to see this TV timeout. Now that round, even though, again, 2 players walk away from Ghost, it felt like it was a little bit closer. If they didn't have that Bunny Bee re-wrap mid, like, these initial kills from Mizube were looking really, really strong, right? And all in all, I mean, again, the fact they have that shows how in-depth and how thorough this playbook is on Icebox with this composition, right? Minus, you know, the Tejo Sova trade. And I think that's, again, going back to what we talked about. Lotus, they changed too much. Here, they changed a little bit because they're confident in their unique play style, which is why TV need this timeout to contemplate, okay, how do we play against a comp like this that we haven't played against before?
Honestly, it's going to be tough. I think that they have the right idea to keep pushing, but Ghost has the run on the conditioning game right now. And it's like they can easily tell what TV are going to do based on the early hit towards B, the alert towards mid. I mean, in that one round, we saw Battison still push down when it was like 30 seconds left. So then seeing that there was a push there, that was Kataris that saw that. They have that info that there might be a deep push even within the middle of the round because TV are hungry to find that info. So I think all of that for Ghost right now is just too much, and TV almost need to reset, switch it up, find a way to not like worry about what Ghost is doing, but create a plan of their own right around Ghost. Let's see if it can happen here. They're still going to get a push, which I like. It's always nice to get that early info, so they keep a little bit of action on NUI. Battison tried too, but Bunny Bee is just on point right now.
Yeah, they're adapting how they challenge off of the deadlock you without the Tejo. And it looks clean. And Bunny Bee, you know, forcing past the volley, gets a little dicey with the running gun. But speaking of dicey, NUI gets through A, past the kill utility. It was an insane time against Ariel that should result in the refrag, but the dismiss is keeping her alive for the time being and keeping her in the fight. The Devour, and now she'll be there to fight, hopefully alongside Kaide for a chance at this 2v3. But still, I mean, Bunny Bee tucked away. The deadlock defenses are active. It's a long way to go again.
One enemy remaining.
Man.
The ace.
Bunny Bee. Stop. With the shotguns, with the rifles, with the sheriff on the last one. Absolutely crazy what we've seen from Bunny Bee this series. And again, just that little pop flash over the shoulder. Like you said, the timing there is unreal to be able to get that.
One enemy remains.
And it's so stark as well that, again, there's some mistakes on the Ghost side. There's, like, some heroics on the side of TV. These rounds have been close, but they're still so favoring Ghost. I mean, up 6-1 here. And, I mean, part of me is like, okay, this is so hard because it's the double duelist on the defense, but it's also the double sentinel on the attack. So, such a mishmatch of momentum here. And now, I mean, all command into the A site. At least TV's here, ready to handle it.
Yeah. Let's see if TV comes back now. They follow up the iBUYPOWER ace, and they say, you know what? We need to snuff out Ghost a few rounds, bring down the economy. Battison with the operator again, making a bit of noise here, and that could be detrimental in the end, but this should be a shot for Battison to get one more here. Waiting out the rest of Ghost.
Down, attacker spawn.
Do they know? You think they know? It's such a precarious position to be in.
I mean, Battison's checking behind him. Look.
Yeah, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, yep, timing. Bye-bye.
Chase is on. Cloudburst, the reposition, the shot connects, and TV get a little bit of breathing room off of that second round.
Don't stress if I
So
die.
they show that, okay, in the terms of the A-Take simulator for Icebox, they know how to win that engagement, right? And I feel like that's kind of sometimes what Icebox boils down to, and it's refreshing that it hasn't been how Ghost is playing it. But it also shows, okay, if TV is able to crack the case on that B side of the map, where, you know, we see an operator posted up on yellow, for example, that able to find the first blood, that Ghost could run out of options. And that's hopefully what we can see is a little bit of a turnaround before the half is up. I mean, you got 4 ults to work with again. You have the op on the right side of the map. Let's see if the opener is what we want.
Oof. One miss going to stay for a second, though. How many are going to peek? It's going to be Bunny B. That's actually a very big start to the round here. As we see Irene trying to hit those shots with the Hunter's Fury. They're still keeping them kind of stocked in here. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I said Battison was going to be a brick wall that you're running into on the B site. That's exactly what's been proven now. Trying to get ace for ace. iBUYPOWER thriving, and the classic backstab is exactly what will lock it in. What a way to respond to Ghost and Bunny B. And again, mention how this operator, how Battison, the newest member of this core 5 for the main event, is truly adding. And I mean, obviously, Chicken goes to the core. The timeout called instantly.
Dang, the not back to back, but kind of back to back iBUYPOWER ace. Semi back enough. That's crazy. Especially with the operator charge, too. They said, nah, we can clear that up. You thought. Very nicely done by Battison. Now heating up. And we're going to see this operator feel so much stronger. And this is the time to heat up, too. You cannot wait for that on the second half. They're going to do it right now. They're going to get a timeout from Ghost Gaming, who is on a lower buy with what looks like a hero rifle if they actually keep that. Because if they win, they get 3,000. If they get a loss, they get 2,900, right? So it doesn't really matter which way they think they go right now. They're still going to be able to do a low armor buy again on that side. So Ghost is going to formulate something.
Yeah, there's 3 rounds to go, right? There's 4 ults you got to work with this anti-eco, or maybe the following round to try and overcome on the TV side. And it kind of goes back to what I said. If you get, you know, stonewalled over on the B side and you just lost the A engagement as starkly as you did, it feels like you run out of options. So to me, it's like, okay, it's hard to shut down a player like Battison opping like that with a composition like this. So they are just going to figure out, okay, how can we improve what was a fail off a null command over towards the A side execution? Or maybe they think it was a fluke. So I think that's what Relic's kind of whispered in their ear. We have the lockdown, let's head towards A, see if we can make it work. But NUI tried, I think, to get ahead of it with some zipline action, and unfortunately one missed, and now you got to go to plan B.
Drone out. This is very default. We haven't really seen this yet from Ghost. They go B, or they rush that right side, and they leave nobody on the belt for this round. And they're all going to be on for the ground game here. A little bit of elevation towards pipes with the lockdown, but this is textbook. They should just be able to have the site and set up nicely, but it's still the low buy, so it's going to have to be good trades.
And really good retake ultimates on the side of TV as well. If you can even get a retake. Bunny B, hero rifle in hand, was trying to fight screens off the pop flash, but the trade immediate out of MizuBabe. And just like that, it's all down to Vanitas too with Guardian. And it's NUI, I mean, searching around maze. 6 bullets left, but they still have that high-low with MizuBabe. Spike didn't even get planted during this time. And it's just open season here for the remaining players.
Just taunting. A few bullets. I'm over here, drawing attention for what would be NUI's push. Currently walled off, though. Ooh, the timing! No way! Vanitas comes up. Oh, the Annihilation, too. There's not enough bullets in the clip. No! annihilated. Now it's going to be Kataris and Vanita is trying to play this. 17 seconds, so Kaide does not have all the time to look about.
And she's just trying to play them the time. She knows.
Left.
Oh,
There was dire straits. She knows the clutch had to come through. And speaking of clutches, Kataris, GC Sheriff when it's needed the most. To Ghost punch their ticket to an advantage at the half. And in a semi-thrifty round at that, the half by the timeout delivered. He said their only way out was the A side, and that's exactly the route they took.
yeah. Wow, that one was close. The little cuts, the way people are clearing corners right now to just get around their opponent. You know that Kataris could see the weapon of Kaide there, but then was able to get the trade even after the loss. Still, it's just everything's happening that little bit for everyone here in just the last few moments. And we're going to come down to maybe a 7-5.
UI again, no zip line, but maybe it saves her from the net combo that just came out with 0 point on the side of Ghost. But again, these combos, this playbook, this honeybee hopping her way into the A site is just so hard to handle. At this point, I'm like, get out of the way, play the full retake. That's what you're good at. But again, when you have an operator, that becomes difficult. When you have a developed lurk here as well out of Kataris, that becomes difficult. Because now, look, Kaide has to check behind her. Mizubi has to challenge the site alone.
One enemy remaining. Spike
And
planted.
I mean, at this point, it's Kaide, right? In a 1v5. Money is okay, like 2 players can buy, maybe hand a weapon off to NUI or Mizubi in this situation. Yeah, I mean, challenging there, I don't know. The money is okay, I guess, a little shaky on the Ghost side, but that would have been a lot of damage having to get done.
Last round before the switch.
Maybe they wanted the op in spawn.
They've been avoiding B now. They said, okay, Battison wanted to put the op at B a few times. Kaide's been kind of fragging a little bit, so we're going to start really just pushing A. And they, like, walked in this time. And this was on a round where a few of them have money, but if they were to lose the Vandals and how fast they went in, they wouldn't be really buying too much in the next round. They could lose another one. But to get that so comfortably, they're going to steal the op for Aerial.
I love this.
Oh. And they're going to go back to the B push to see if there's anybody wanting to lurk there, which now just has a plethora of utility.
Yeah, I was like, you know that they're too broke to buy the operator, going back B smart, but I also wanted to see this change out of TV. You talked about how they were just walking up on the A site. It's because this double duelist wasn't aggressing there. So now Reyna, now Battison, they both made their way through spawn where, yeah, you're going to have to deal with Kataris here holding a nasty angle, but it's null command onto the B site, so this entire retake strategy is brewing from the get-go. Oh no,
Reset. Oh, deep breath. Battison can't get the recoil back down. Kataris takes it, and Mizubi falls. His ghosts just start to rack him up around the map. And Kaide finds a swarm kill.
You did not expect her here. All of her utility was on the B site, ready for spike denial. You expect her kitchen, snow pile, maybe wrapping snowman. How many do you get? The trigger is twin. The panicked recon bolt almost good for their 4th, but it's Kataris. A huge round from shutting down the flank to shutting down the heroics of Kaide. 9-3 half secured. Ghost just, again, a huge comeuppance compared to over on Lotus. And, I mean, you're coming into defense on Icebox with a double sentinel. How do you mess this up?
Yeah. It is a good question.
Double duelist?
Right. I think they could be good here if they find the right combination. I mean, the util's all on A right now with the protection on kitchen, so maybe the double duelist is the answer to fly over this stuff or clear it quick as they have time to work through the flashes. Then they do want A to start, and they're going to have a little bit of that mid control. Just, I think, to read the map, see how it's played out by the side of Ghost on defense, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's just difficult. The deep wall from the deadlock over towards B, so now you can mass rotate to A and have that mini-map knowledge, right? It feels difficult, but if you can just break through, pierce through the deadlock utility on A, there's no worries.
Yeah.
Which is where we look to NUI NUI has had a rougher map comparatively in first and second. It's Battison to take the home instead, to pave the way. Corner not cleared, but NUI closes up that gap really quickly.
Wow.
And there's the site.
Yeah, the duelists work right through. So it's the dash out of the first alert as we see the fight continue here. Just should be some clears, but Ghost, wait, never mind. We'll describe this later as Aerial and Bunny does come up with some kills. Irene only gets one trade back for now.
Last player standing.
You try to see the stabilization, but Vanitas 1v2 Plastic in hand, playing secure. Kaide, a proactive angle. Just to reposition over towards Maze. Should just be contact swinger if you don't through the corner. Annihilation, and they're lucky they didn't get killed by Kaide in that situation. Irene good for the 3, and TV win a must-win pistol round again for the 9-3 curse to get strong. And again, I'm trying to think. I feel like there was maybe not enough strength. There was full blind trust in these sensors. And it kind of went south.
The duelists were able to get like the perfect plays to him, right? The first kill of the sensor came off Battison, dash out even though censored. And the second one was NUI kind of activating it, but it more hit Kataris, and I think NUI was almost out of range. Yeah, I was like, wait, they both just played that perfectly with the duelists on either side. So I think you're right with the sensors not being enough there. You're trusting them too much, rather, to do that much as they walked right in and took that space. Good push B, though, to start up.
Space. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm drawn towards. Vanitas and Kataris. Beautiful net, but this is your player that didn't have a weapon. The weapons are on this A site where I kind of foretold an A-Take simulator, and looks like TV is fulfilling that prophecy.
Oh, no.
Just head into the site, take the kills, in your corners. Miara can't even get out, and it's all down to Vanitas, where you know that positioning. And you have an outlaw and a turret.
Oh, no.
On her, and oh my gosh. She's safe from embarrassment.
Whew. Hey, that Timmy is strong. Never be embarrassed to die to Timmy. Oh. All right, Battison gets it. Blade Storm coming up a little bit quicker there. And that is a 5th round here for the side of TV. But now come the weapons on the side of Ghost. What's their positioning? How are they going to set up? And that is a heavy A so far, unless it's just going to be the wall. Right. They'll set up wall, dart over. I don't know if they're going to push here. Oh, they're going to actually go rope into the nest.
And maybe
they keep changing it up. They're just dancing. They're box jumping.
They're leaving us guessing.
You never know. There is a ping,
I'm expecting the KO knife, and then you go back maybe towards A, and that's exactly what happens here. But I like this, right? You need to challenge the A control, maybe play retake with the better weapons on B, because that's where the shortcoming has been.
Deep spawn play here for Kaide, so maybe waiting on the commitment for this to see if there's a move. No, they feel comfortable to walk in. Oh my gosh, that look was sketchy from Bunny B, but you love that dangerous take. Seeing if they can figure out enough info to make something work. And everybody's going to back up here. Did they see that was a judge, maybe? Or they just don't like it?
I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of deadlock utility already here.
True.
Now you have the KO knife as well. This is actually going to keep the Ghost members here as well. It feels like Ghost is recognized. There's not really a B main lurk player, so there's no use of having those extra players or the wall there. They can just rotate at ease. And I think that's the difficulty here is now there's this kind of stalemate over towards A, and that's spotted out too. You have 35 seconds left, so you have to rotate now or never. And it seems like the latter's true. Battison little drift over. And UI has to get these entries.
30 seconds left.
There it is again. Reyna on the left, going for a kill, gets dismissed out. They're using the duelist just to get in and out of the site and make it annoying, but Ghost is ready. They're trying to hide to make it so TV has to keep looking, has to keep searching around these corners. And now the 1v2. It's up to Mizu.
Oh, Snake Bite barely misses, so at least Spike will go down. Time no longer a worry, but around the Rosie, now it's a high-low as well. Vanitas from above, and Ghost Gaming will reach double digits here. 10-5. So, okay, Ghost. Not even having to utilize a timeout there. Able to kind of fix the mistakes, come up with the strategy, a path forward. TV again. I think it's going to be similar to Haven, where this kind of comes down to the wire in terms of the comeback.
Yeah. I think a big thing for TV right now is almost being able to identify, at this point, Bunny B's position and almost avoid it. Honest, it's just getting to a point where, I mean, it's a judge right now, so it may not matter. But at least identify it and not run away from it, but figure out a way to attack it harder, make sure that gets more priority in the way that they dissolve what's happening in that area around Bunny B or for Bunny B's positioning. And here, already setting up just for... They can take these chances because they're 10-5. They have a bit of money. I gotta say they have a bit of money. They're actually pretty broke.
Oh, that's huge. Now you know Battison's up on belt. Bunny B can position with the judge above. I can from this more than one. The wall again. They're just eating away time. And I do like the call finally for TV to lean towards B because there's no problem not having to split attention. Keep players here, but when you cleared out half the map already, I expect the lean now to come towards the B site. Aerial. Here's the footsteps in the snow.
They have good control here. Should be able to get the sonar bolt down. A little bit of damage, but they're all going to be forced into pretty much the same position. It makes it ultimately more difficult to retake the site.
Wait,
they just get inside pit. That's almost makes it a little interesting, though, because they can tap and get out to make you run in.
Your guitarist trying to round the pit, trying to now pinch off of Vanitas, who's on the flank. The gap, though. Yeah, in the pit, Irene capitalizes, but all that just veils Vanitas.
Oh, hello.
One enemy.
Wait, Bunny. Oh, Miara comes up with that. It's going to be the defuse here. Ghost are going to get it to 11. They use the pit to close in even more on the defensive side at TV. And they just pinch down enough. 3 live in that instance, too, to bring the economy up even more on their side. 11-5 now as it gets dire for TV here as they face elimination.
Yeah, TV, a really nice round out of them, right? They understood, okay, we should be able to play the over-rotation, the over kind of commitment to the A site.
Yeah.
I just needed to see Battison and NUI get out early, or at least NUI, and that deadlock wall just kind of kept them, ironically, trapped in jail, right? And then over towards the B site, right? They get the plant down, they play the Hunter's Fury, but that's where Ghost and their intuition comes through. Vanitas knows I have to get the Hunter's Fury out, they tap early, they flank. And all of that works out. So 11-5 here. Money going south. So you gotta do something aggressive, something cheesy, and that's a mid-execute.
Okay. Right into the kitchen. Hits Ariel with a frying pan, but gets the same medicine back. Kataris answers on to Mizu as well. As the spike is just droning up to make sure it's clear, but they think they have A here. It's Battison. It's just picking apart from the inside now once this wall goes down. Oh, dear.
Oh.
The choice to turn around.
A spike down.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
But it's being
you
chased.
Saw Bunny B. They were aware that Battison could be coming through kitchen, updrafting over the wall.
Oh, that positioning. Knows it. Just can't get that shot with the Phantom from range. And Kaede is down to 45 here versus 2. Now on both sides, 1 on her 6 and 1 in front.
Might be able to get the weapon off of Addison, or at least the one behind for sure. Full utility as well, especially when there's players divided and you have no information. So ultimately Miara is able to find that. The backstab from Boiler's good, and Ghost will reach map and series point here on Icebox. Just sticking to what they know, sticking to the composition, minus the adjustments out of the Taeho nerf. And again, we thought they would have to mess up royally in order to lose the double sentinel defense. And again, I really like it. If anything has been surprising, it's been Vanitas, right? You're a duelist on every map, switching to the deadlock and having, I think, the best performance for the series.
Yeah.
It's been really impressive to see how versatile they are, how many problems this wall has posed just for the coordination that TV takes.
God.
And now she's pushing forward, that confident.
This could be the last round. Ghost look to get it, but TV are ready and poised. They stand tall and nobody has fallen just yet as 3 members of Ghost look to push. We saw this on the previous map too, where they're like, all right, it's done. We can get this final push in, and they just miss a few things and fall apart instantly. Guitarist now looking for a final frag, gets a leer to the face from distance, and that is going to be a flawless round for TV as they keep their hopes alive.
Really nice. And honestly, it kind of is reminiscent of Haven, right? Where Ghost got antsy, fought a little bit too aggressively, and lost the round. But a little bit more padding this time around. Still 6 rounds to go for TV to get to overtime. And also, again, you're going up against a double duelist composition that's made to fight and win the A-Tech simulator. So not quite the strategy I anticipated, I think, coming out to counter the A control. But maybe they think it was just a fluke and they're going to try a similar fashion. It's still this 4-3. Still a lot of utility. I feel like they're faking it this time around, right? The Lob Flash, the Hunter's Fury.
Oh, dear.
They really just baited these players in.
Oh, what a read. Almost by Miara. And yeah, getting them right towards A. Let's see if they can get into the site, though. The speed was working for them for a moment. They used the elevation. They try to get Battison up high. NUI down low. They Still got this lurk by Kaide trying to listen for something here, but Ghost's eyes are fixed.
Oh, Ghost. Bunny View was looking. Badison says, you're not getting away with that with the Bucky. That's just Badison for you, even though they're down 6-12. And it's a good kill. That was the no command as well. And now you're trying to cash in on the Kaide lurk. It's a little early to write the contact made by Kataris. The hairs on the back of the neck stand up, and now you call in the cavalry, you call in Ariel to help you out. But surprised that more players didn't rotate off that contact, because now, I mean, you only have 2 here. Ariel just playing for time to lay off the decay of the orb, and it's enough. A perfect and lethal combination. But Badison, unaccounted for, it's still numbers on the side of TV.
Vanitas lurking in from mid, but Badison's going to have the daggers. They know it's mid. Another one comes through, but it's going to be the other duelist, NUI, coming in. There's 2. They're flying around. They're making things trouble right now for Ghost. You see them both alive there at the end of the round. They know the win condition, and it is just to put out the pain right now. Badison 23-13. Bladestorm just offline. NUI can go for Empress if they want to go a little ham this round and start to open up A a little bit more. That's usually been the duelist kind of choice once they do have something. And Ghost is actually going to be the one to call it here and say we want to stall out TV in their 2-round game. They do have a lower bit of a buy coming through, so they're going to see how to sort that out. And, I mean, maybe if a few kills come through, we actually see some of these ultimates getting used.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, how far do we go? At what point do we utilize the ultimates? Because we did kind of see that kind of like partial kind of investment of them over on Haven, and that did delay at the end of the game a little bit. But also, I mean, going back to what you mentioned, right? Badison using the blades, maybe the Empress now. It was a big decision showing how kind of they wanted to lock in these rounds now instead of trying to save up for that grand finale against Ghost, which is where I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, yeah, Badison 23-13, you might get that back pretty quick, but still 5 rounds to go. One wrong move, one Bunny be judge round, and again, you've got to be careful. So I'm actually think this timeout's going to help TV as well, right? Figure out, okay, how do we play away from this eco attempt? How do we play away from these ults? And we'll see if they come up with the correct approach.
Find Bunny B. Kill or use more util. Let's see what happens. Mid set up. They've got the watch on kitchen. All of the sensors are now at B. And now
Kaide.
The lurk. It's always been there, the lurk day. See if they activate it here more towards the round. I mean, Spike's on belt all the way up here, so it looks like it is going to be a commit towards A. And Ghost doesn't want to give up the space this time.
I mean, you got to play the close angles, right? With the Stingers, with the Sheriff. And, I mean, NUI, Devour active, Irene winning hers as well. Mid attempt spotted, out. Mizube just disrespecting all the utilities, still trying to get this timing, and it delivers. Now you know where the remaining player was, hit by the decay, super low HP. Should be another dumb dust round for TV, they deny. Any sort of thrifty antics in flawless fashion and get to an 8th. But Rivington, this was the round that Ghost won on Haven, that 13-8. And that's where, again, I think that timeout helps TV talk about how to avoid the same history from repeating itself.
Exactly. And they're playing cautious. They're understanding kind of, I think, what Ghost is trying to get out of these rounds. And they're being the one to, you know, get to the shots first. They're making sure that the lower buy rounds are flawless. They're building the economy. And now they have all the util they need to get into these sites. Still don't have a chance with the way the game is played at the 13th point here for the side of Ghost, that they can take chances. So you're right. It has to be perfect from here on out.
Here we go. A little bit of a switch up, right? Obviously the deadlock wall there. Early destroyed, early util just to force these players out of their main. And it kind of scares them off just a touch. The drone not going to spot anything here deep over towards pipes. So I'm kind of looking back to when we only had one player rotate over from Ghost to B, and I want to see more.
Yeah.
With the deadlock util, especially with that 0-point reveal. But still, there's still A.
Toxin screen down.
They cruise in. TTV with great positioning. They're using that elevation perfectly here. The duelists guarding each other on the outside. And the rotation will come in, but they're not going to have Aerial for that retake, but they do
30
lose
seconds left.
Mizu Babe as well. So the 1-for-1 here, I think still favors TTV.
Toxins
They can
going
get the
up.
spike down.
Poison or toxin screen down.
Great delay.
Yep, that's enough now to buy that time for rotation that I was questioning, but that's why we're exactly seeing TV take power in their own hands, fight deeper towards Snowman.
Ghost?
But again, you talked about it, avoid or fight Bunny Bee head on, but don't go alone because it is devastation. It's Irene now in the 1v2 to decide the series.
Oh, the Bunny Bee jump. The defuse will come through. They give it to Miara. That's going to be it. Ghost Gaming are going to move on in the lower bracket here. They actually go to face off against YFP, who they had trouble against just a few games ago.